Dawson's Rambles.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Today we're going to be talking about Power Rangers Once and Always spoilers. So there's like an alleged leaker on this site, I think it's called Lipstick Alley, that says that like somebody they know worked on the special, so they got the inside scoop on the plot. It's made its rounds on the forums. I'm gonna pull up my phone here in a second and just read it quietly, and you can just watch me reacting to it, because I think that's all you could probably handle. That's pretty much how reaction videos go. I think it's like stupid. They just fake all the reactions. I am going to be checking on my phone here there. I'll put up some pictures. But let's talk about these. As always, with any type of spoilers or rumors, take with a grain of salt. This guy could be full of shirt. It could be true. I think it's just fun and interesting to talk about, especially the developments in here. So just keep in mind it might be true, it might not be, but we're just discussing it for the fun of it. So let's get started, shall we? Alright, so I'll probably put up some pictures so you don't have to just look at me looking down the whole time. I'll try to look like I'm trying to like sneak it. Anyway, let's just get started. Okay, Zordon is revived by the Morphin Masters. That's why we see his tube in there. I think there were some pictures where we saw his tube there, so that makes sense. I'll talk about that more later. Lord Zed creates Robot Rita with the help of Scrazzle, as many people have speculated, and I did that in my Where's Rita Coming From video. Good thing I pushed that out before I talked about this. That sounded weird. Sorry I said push that out. Tommy, Jason, and Kimberly are kidnapped by the Mecha Rita, which is why they're not there. It also says somewhere in there that she shrinks them down along with Kendricks and TJ. I don't know why they're called out specifically in this. I don't know if there's a surprise cameo. I don't think so. I'm going to imagine it's just seeing their little Ranger keys or whatever. But I don't know. I'm just saying. The Moon Palace is back. Trini teleports to the Moon Palace and she dies battling Mecha Rita. Sounds very much like what they did with Leia in a way. Because remember how Leia sacrificed herself to defeat Mecha Rita and Kylo Ren could become good again? I remember that from Rise of Skywalker. You have Billy and Zach at the gravesite, which is something we've seen with Trini's daughter months later. Billy and Aisha are the ones to give the Sabertooth coin to Min. SPA is SPD's training facility, so probably Space Patrol Academy, I'm going to assume. Adam and Aisha run SPA, as you can probably tell. I honestly assumed they were interns, but it's whatever. Command Center is rebuilt years ago by Alpha 5. When they defeat her, they're going to seal Rita into a dumpster and blast her into outer space. I don't know why they don't just blast her pieces into outer space, because she's a robot. We don't have to worry about killing her. She's not real. Lord Zed gets some sort of new machine Megazord. Zordon is going to enlist Billy to help the Cosmic Fury and Dino Rangers in space. You've been back 5 minutes. Take a seat, Zordon. You don't even know who the players are anymore. And there's going to be a surprise cameo at the end by Kim, who appears on the viewing globe. And then there's going to be a scene at the end of the juice bar with the Rangers doing a high five. I wonder if they'll do a freeze frame. So this all mostly sounds pretty decent to me. Honestly, this sounds fairly plausible, if I'm being honest. A lot of kind of what I would expect. You know, I do like the Lord Zed connection. I mentioned in my theory video, I think it would be silly to not even mention it. It would seem weird. I mean, I didn't want this to be like super connected to it to the point where you felt like you were missing something if you didn't watch Dino Fury, but I feel like not connecting it would be not only a missed opportunity, but it would make it feel like this weird disconnected thing in a franchise that already has disconnected continuity. So I think it was smart to include that bit and at least mention it. I don't know if Zed's going to appear just briefly or not, or if it's going to be an off-screen mention, but the fact that they're connecting it makes me happy. I also like the lead into Cosmic Fury with Billy. I think that's also very smart. I can almost guarantee that this thing is going to have more eyeballs on it than Cosmic Fury. So you're going to be having a lot of nostalgia fans checking this out, and you're going to probably inspire at least a quasi-decent chunk of them to want to check out Cosmic Fury when it comes out, knowing that Billy's going to be in it. That's honestly just smart marketing, good synergy for both the storytelling and the franchise marketing. So I'm happy with that. As far as Zordon being back, I feel like people are going to be mad about it being the Morphin Masters because they're being kind of used as a catch-all for a lot of things, and I can understand that. I'm more so just annoyed with him being back. I'm not the biggest Zordon fan, to be honest. I like him in the comics now, that he learned that he used to be a douche and stopped being one. But I don't know, it kind of undermines the whole sacrifice thing. I feel like there could have been different ways to go about it if they wanted to somehow include him in the special. You know, I kind of would prefer the idea of them looking on at the broken tube and just thinking like, you know, back to times where he gave him advice and you could have some sound bites, you know, like a voiceover of Zordon talking to each individual Ranger and kind of have it that way and kind of have it more about the Rangers, you know, acknowledging Zordon's defeat since they didn't really get to since they weren't there, and then, you know, acknowledging that they have to move on without him. I don't know. It's not something that's going to make me super mad in the long run. I do like that the Morphin Masters are there just because I think they're a cool lore beat that I think it's cool they're going to appear here with some of the OGs. But I don't know. Zordon being back. I think mostly I'm happy with the way they're handling the Trini stuff. You know, you can do it kind of one of two ways. You can, have them sort of in there but not, and have them go out in a heroic way in some sort, kind of like with Leia. Or you could have had her already been dead for a while or off screen, just before this. Like the lead into the special was them showing up at the funeral. I think this is mostly a cool way to do it. It kind of has her going out as a hero, shows that she, was a little more active as a ranger. I think that mostly works out for me in regards to this. As far as the cameo at the end, I think it's nice that they were able to film this little cameo beat with Amy Jo Johnson, if it's true. I think it would be funny if it was like, remember when the Rangers left for the peace conference? Well, I guess it really was a peace conference in this dimension, but you know why they left in the behind the scenes reasons. And they showed, I think it was like archived footage of them waving or something, or archived footage of them leaving. It would be really funny if the Kimberly cameo was like archived footage of her from the show. Like, hey look, it's Kimberly, and it's clearly like 90s Kim with like a ridiculous scrunchie. If that's true, I hope it's like, not confirmed, but I hope this is true, just because I've seen a lot of people hoping that JDF somehow secretly made a cameo. And I'm never going to say never with anything. I think I'm 99% sure there was no secret cameo based on what happened. But I've seen a lot of people that are thinking like, oh, it's like a No Way Home situation. And I feel like people are getting their hopes up. And so that makes more sense. And I kind of hope that would squash that a little bit. Not that I wouldn't have wanted to seen a surprise and that was all a ruse, but I just feel like people are getting their hopes up too much about that. And I think it's kind of a nice little note to end on. And I think that I do kind of hope in like that they have that freeze frame at the end when they all do the high five. I think that would be kind of a cool little neat homage. Sounds like this thing's gonna have a lot of little neat details and homages, like the whole, sending Rita to space thing. Again, if it was like the actress, I'd be like, okay, they're probably not gonna blow up a human, but it's a robot, just blow it up. I feel like that's a little bit too much. They're probably gonna use it to bring her back, and then I'm willing to bet Robo Rita's gonna appear in Cosmic Fury then. That's probably why they're doing it, in addition to, obviously having that homage in there. We obviously kind of already knew this, and these leaks don't tell us a whole lot more. We might get some more details in there, but I just do like the general inclusion of the SPD mythology and Adam and Aisha's like role and everything. I don't think, it doesn't sound like they morph. It would be cool if Adam morphed at least into something. I don't know about who the Green Ranger is going to be, unless that's them before they get shrunk. I guess I'm going to assume that. Now that I say that, I don't know why I was wondering that. Something I hope they would touch on is I'm curious to get like a little tiny like exposition about Aisha, because I feel her exit was really timey-wimey, and it leaves people questioning like, wait, was the timeline rewritten so Aisha was never a Ranger, but she was, but like, I don't know. It is confusing when you think about it, because the way like Tanya just aged up like she was always there, it was timey-wimey confusing. I don't expect them to like pull out the chart and explain to me all the ins and outs of the timey-wimey stuff, but just something that sort of, explain it a little bit, just so I know what's going on, because I'm kind of curious about that now that I think about that. But yeah, this overall sounds pretty decent to me. It's kind of one of those things where I'm sure it's going to be even better when you actually get to see it, and I'm sure there's little details and stuff that are going to be rewarding to see that aren't in there. And again, most of all, I do like the connections to Cosmic Fury. I think it's not only smart for the synergy of the storytelling, but a good way to inspire people to check out the special. But I will keep you guys updated if there's any more news or spoilers or anything. What do you think of this for the potential plot? Do you like what you're hearing? Is there anything you would change? Anything you would do differently? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so you get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.